And then we have, of course, old postcards from Lokoja, the city, view the way it looks. I think it has changed a bit since, I must say. The old mosque, the hospital, all these was mostly from the early 19th century. This is the market of those days. Wood market and sheep market. And this is the biggest things we have in that archive. Yeah, then Prometheus, let me drop one word about reading sources again. Prometheus continued further on, went up the River to Adamawa, and here he studied among other people the Chapadaka. Today are in Cameroon side. And his paper produced a number of sketches of watercolors. Among them also a half-tone image showing a ceremony. Some time ago, together with my colleague Richard Horton, who's a specialist of that area, which belonged, as I said today, to Cameroon, we have been looking at these images more closely. And in fact, nothing in this piece would have happened like this. Not this mask with these musicians, nor the place necessarily apparently took place. In fact, it's a collage of incompatible features brought together in one picture for the sake of portraying a scene as exotic as possible for European public. There's however another picture from the British collection I wanted to end with. It's a portrait of a man called Olayemi, approaching his 80s, a great example of the cosmopolitan nature of the project in the early 19th century. Olayemi was born around 1836 in northern Nigeria, belonged to the Marshall people. As a child, he had been stolen by slave hunters, and in 1851, the German traveler Henry Barr ransomed him near Lake Chad and employed him as a camel driver for the journey to Timbuktu. When Barr returned to North Africa in 1855, he offered Abega to accompany him to Europe, and Abega accepted and lived with Barr and his family in Hamburg and later in London. He then joined the household of the German linguist and CSS missionary Jakob Schön as a language informant. Schön had taken part in the 1841 Niger expedition together with several Krauser, and published in 1843 as the first ever vocabulary and grammar of the Hausa language. After some time, Abega left England at the end of 1857. He traveled back to Africa on behalf of the Church Missionary Society and became a colleague of Cyrus Krauser, the first African bishop of the Anglican Church. Initially, he was evangelist among the Lutheran. Abega then left the mission service and went to Lokoja, the administrative center of the conference. There he became the interpreter of the British consul, Dr. William Beatty, the actual founder of the town of Lokoja. When Consul Beatty left Lokoja in 1864, Abega entered the service of his successor, Lord Byron McLean. On his behalf, he also took over official administration, which was the rules. He was described as a multilingual, educated, and versatile man, and he was appointed to the service of the military branch of the Royal Niger Company in 1894. During this time, his Christian faith waned, and he eventually returned to Islam. He married his wife Fatima, and we know of the son and daughter. Abega enjoyed general trust and respect from Kenya, so much that he was appointed Secretary Lokoja by the British in 1896. Also, he was possessed the following year. He was reinstated a year later, and finally, he was 1904. We don't know the reasons for all that. But in 1911, when he met Barbados, he was still an impressive personality, showing the international and multicultural character of Lokoja. I want to end with this word, and thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you. The Vice Chancellor has directed that the Department of Music should savor this moment, just minutes of a dedicated musical play for our very distinguished population. Music, please come forward with your stars. Quickly, 2 minutes.
You
Thank you. Accidental one from our Department of Music. Please can we bring another round of applause? Ms. Vice Chancellor, the floor is open for contribution, for comments, questions. Students are here. We would want to take observation, questions, and comments from students. Postgraduate students are here, undergraduates are here, and our colleagues. I would start from the leader and Senate. Introduce yourself, sir, and then ask your question and make your observation. Thank you, BBC. My name is Akinwumi, Political Science Department. My intervention will be at 3 levels, and I'll be very brief. Number one, to welcome our distinguished public lecturer, and then my Vice Chancellor welcoming you. And also appreciate you for the positive role that we have played in his life trajectory. I must say that I was a witness to the beginning, particularly Mr. John in Babula. And when we talk about his success in Germany today, as he also acknowledged publicly, we know the vital role to have played. So thank you very much for that. Then that to me has its own implication for the type of academia that we find ourselves today. And number one, what type of friendship you keep, who are your friends in the academia? Because from what I've seen today, and as I've seen through these public lectures, the friendship you get or you keep today, you have a long way to define what the future will be. The university has also mentioned the of publications. And in today's world, where the crisis, the controversies on where you publish and how you publish, I think it's a useful lesson for us here today. How is political science? And this lecture also validates what we teach in political socialization and culture. Talk about socialization in terms of the making of political self. And it has taken a German to come to Africa to validate what we know about Africa and remind us of the deep potentials that we are still on in Africa. And the implication of this is that what are we really teaching? Now given context. What is our government doing to the study of humanities and social sciences? Because we live in a country where the talk of history and anthropology is like they are committing class society. No student will want to keep anthropology even on its own. And that is a useful lesson. I was also in groups. People you knew the millions of dollars and pounds that the Americans, the Europeans commit to the soul of Africa. And yet in Africa, we neglect our own and we only wait for a national come and remind us after that question and food of who we are and what we can become. That will mean is that I have to believe that even our own university, also the vice chancellor, who belongs to the humanities, and still see that we need to promote lectures like this. And we thank you very much for what you have demonstrated, the quality of the presentation. And I believe that there are useful lessons for us here. To believe more in ourselves, commit more resources to research in the humanities. Why we are not neglecting or jealous of science, but let it be known that there cannot be science if there is no issue. Thank you very much, sir. The provost of College of Postgraduate Studies, introduce yourself and then your observation.
My name is Benga Ibile. I'm in English. Maybe on the night note, the Vice Chancellor said he's a German. And we can reasonably conclude that Richard very strong exchange. And what can really solidify that exchange more than your beautiful wife, who is currently Nigerian? Sir, thank you for your lecture. I hadn't had the privilege of meeting you until last night. But in scholarship, you do not really need to meet somebody physically before you say you know them. In the memory of Professor Olayemi Akinwumi and in his discussions, there is hardly any time he discusses anything elevated academic that will not make reference to you. And I think that speaks to your personality. We appreciate you. You talked about technology and how advanced the Niger area was in the early 19th century. That got me thinking. And you said some kind of technology that you saw or that had been studied did not exist elsewhere before then. What has happened to Africa? Why the reversal? How can we recover? How can we catch up? Your lecture has revealed the limitless possibilities in multidisciplinary collaboration. And that is quite instructive. If one sits to analyze what you have said, there is no segment of scholarship that cannot benefit from what you are doing. Linguistics, which is my area, right, features in this lecture. And I think that we should begin to see more of the interconnections in scholarship than in the things that divide us. Thank you very much for this very rich review. Thank you.
The Director, International Center of Excellence in Environmental Humanities. Introduce yourself and then go with your observational question.
Today, Ewaji is my name. I come by way of Jamaica on the position of Vice Chancellor and the leadership of the University, Federal University Lokoja. I want to thank the Vice Chancellor and the leadership of the University for this particular lecture, which the ramifications of what we have received today in this hall will only be appreciated in years to come, especially if colleagues pay attention to what we have been told. During the time in the 90s, when I was conducting the research for my book, Beauty and Culture, one of the few full-length books in African aesthetics, one of the discoveries I found relate to the Sahara Desert. inhabited by people. And one of the things that was significant there is that the remnants of the arts that were left in the Tassili region and other places endured and survived. So when Dr. Kuba, Professor Kuba, mentioned the Ife bronze, I was wondering how he tried to trace a connection between the external arts and those that migrated southwards, ending up in the Niger, Benue, river areas. That is number one. Number two, the DBC academic introduced me as the director of the Federal University Lokoja, International Center of Excellence in Environmental Humanities. There is one thing which I believe will be taken up with Professor Kuba going forward. That relates to his research and the concern for environmental humanities that are raised. Linking up with the Vice Chancellor to pursue that further. But I will make my remarks by alluding to the point made regarding Mansari Komusa and the way in which his geography has presented the episode of his previously and senseless display of splendor, which has been part of the reason why Africa has been subject to creative, to extortion, to extraction, and destruction up till now. The connections between all of these needs to be explored further. Thank you very much.
And Dean of Law, I thought Dean of Law was raising her hand to make contribution. Okay? Head of Archaeology. I appreciate this lecture. I want to raise two issues. Introduce yourself, please. I'm Paul Olayemi, Department of Archaeology and Museum Studies. Two issues. You were introduced as a professor of archaeology and anthropology. And I'm happy the Deputy Vice Chancellor Academics introduced you. There is a school of thought here that denies the connection between archaeology and anthropology. They still insist there is no connection. I'm happy you introduced Professor of Archaeology and Anthropology. Number two, about the foundation of Lokoja, you mentioned white man, Zimbabwe. The 1840s, 1850s that founded Lokoja. Last year, I took my students for excavation. We excavated a rock shelter, a cave. I would know that people were living in Lokoja before the white man came. You're going to confuse my students with that statement. They are very well. With that human beings were already living in caves before even the building of houses. This was tradition. Thank you. opportunity to speak. I'll try to be brief. First of all, let me say hi to my colleagues. I'm primarily an archaeologist. Most of the challenges about truths I want us to understand and hold on to. He said the Niger is under-researched. And I think it's a golden opportunity for the upcoming archaeologists to know that there's so much for them to do. Whenever I went around and said we are all director of research of archaeology in Nigeria, we said what do we have to show like Egypt, like Mesopotamia in Africa. Sometimes I try to debate the issue. Sometimes I say, well, I cannot produce pyramids if pyramids were not being safe. But like he said, and it's been confirmed by nature, there's so much to do. If you do it well, people will know the value of what we are doing. Don't mention something again. That other countries spend money on research, and we think this research is not important. I sometimes tell my wife, why we have 10 different countries sponsor me to come to their country to talk to them because of my career. And yet you are the whole country people don't actually value I pray that the relationship between Professor Kuba and Professor Akinwumi benefit students of archaeology in what today and we have to work at it. Now the interesting that we are now referring to Professor Kuba is a true bridge builder. Bridge builder. That 1995 that I introduced was Akinwumi to the University. How can that there's a lot of Nigerian that is introducing my brother to my house for the first time in Frankfurt. So I've been building this relationship between people everywhere, organizing conferences and making it possible. Now, my prayer through the day from the department is that you allow and encourage some of your students to follow the footsteps of Professor Kuba.
Thank you. Students, introduce yourself and then make a comment. Thank you. I am Olayemi from History Department, and as said, I'm the Dean of Students. Dr. Kuba, I want to thank you for being with us this morning, and also thank you for broadening our understanding of the trade trajectory on the Niger River waterways. The Niger waterways is not just a highway of trade, but an avenue for political maneuvers by states and kingdoms along the Niger waterways. By implication, your study has shown to us graciously that states and kingdoms around the Niger Conference area had engaged in trading relationship with far afield states as far as Gawa beyond in the time past for several centuries. I have to thank you very much and to tell you that we are getting to learn more about our environment and the relationship they kept for several centuries in the past. However, I said I will not let you go, but to tell you what your friend, Professor Olayemi has done for the student community of this great university for the past 3 years. He will not be able to tell you himself, but as the representative of the student, as their father, I will need to tell you that your friend has not disappointed you. The philanthropist mind that he has learned from your end, from your nation, your country generally, he has taken down that here and is actually translating it to, and some of us are learning from that. On the assumption of office in 2021, Professor Akinwumi met a set of disillusioned students who were not cared for by the previous administration. Immediately he came in,
We had to go into interacting with the students, know their feelings, know why they are not happy, and he immediately announced that from that day onward, his door and the door of his administration is widely open to them to attend to their needs, their complaints, and to do more for them as a father, and that he has been doing. He has graciously availed the student union body the opportunity of accessing him at any time, anywhere on campus. And by doing that, their requests in terms of funding, in terms of welfare, in terms of their needs, in terms of what will make them have a hitch-free study has been attended to without any challenge. I want to tell you that student funds are released to them as at when due immediately. Welfare buses has been provided because we run a dual campus. By assuaging the exorbitant transport costs which commercial motorists are charging on them, we have provided few buses that charge them a little to augment what they are to pay when they go to private commercial transport system and into private commercial bus system. Also, the long-awaited hostel that has been under lock and key has been opened courtesy of Professor Akinwumi as a Christmas gift to our students. As we speak, very many of our students are in the hostel now. We're also the providers that are waiting to move there because the comfort there is better than the comfort outside. And that will also help to enhance their learning and then turn this campus to a purely university campus. I will not also hesitate to inform you, sir, that our students have unhindered access to all academic matters as it borders on their results, their lectures, and conveniences that they needed to make their learning worthwhile. This is doing, and there are many more that I will not bother most of our listeners to mention because they know. This is to act or add to the beauty serene environment we are seeing here, sir. He has attracted a lot. Most of the buildings you are seeing here, our guest lecturer, came in courtesy of our amiable vice chancellor. If you move around, you see magnificent buildings, lecture halls, lecture theaters, and of course, the tourist center, our zoo and garden. They are all beautiful edifices that were all facilitated by amiable vice chancellor, Professor Olayemi. At this point, I say thank you for coming and to tell you that as a historian, we have also learned very much from your lecture. I was just telling my colleague here that yes, you were the one I saw some time ago in 2003 or 2002, who came to hire a canoe by the river Niger here to take him to Onitsha. But unfortunately, I didn't know whether you are the person. There's a white German who came. I was looking for how to take a canoe travel along the Niger waterways. Thank you very much. We hope to see more of you at another time.
Thank you. I would want to yield the floor to our students of archaeology, so that we're not accused of not allowing them to. But I understand, Mr. Vice Chancellor, that the students of archaeology have reserved their questions until they get to the department, but I've insisted that students must talk in this place. And so a representative has volunteered to talk, and the representative is Joel Ajakai. Where are you?
Thank you very much, sir. My name is Joel Jaffe Ajakai from the prestigious Department of Archaeology and Anthropology. Standing on the existing protocol, I have a question for the distinguished speaker. One of the challenges faced by students is lack of modernized technological tools for the study of archaeology in tertiary institutions. How would you, as a doctor, Dr. Richard Kuba, how would you advise the students or the institution at large on how to bridge this gap of unavailability of archaeological equipment?
Thank you. Director, Advancement and Linkage. And then Dr. Olayemi finally. So that I'll end this question. Director, thank you. I'm the Vice Chancellor and distinguished lecturer. As an alumni of Alexander Foundation in Germany, 1993 and 2004, I went to join our Vice Chancellor, Dr. Olayemi Akinwumi, welcoming you to our campus. And having said that, I want to use the occasion of this lecture to appeal to Nigerian leaders. Based on what you told us, the bronze technology started in Nigeria before anywhere else in the world. And this is, has been captured both by the Ife, by the bronze that were taken from Ife and those that were taken from the Benin Kingdom. And the same Nigerians that, that achieved this are still achieving, enormous, strides, making enormous strides across the world when they are in a big environment. But in Nigeria, they don't seem to be making any impact. And so, I'm using this opportunity to appeal to Nigerian leaders to make funds available to the universities so that they can also continue to make this type of giant strides, even in our own country. Thank you very much.
Finally, the Faculty of Science, Faculty of Arts. Introduce yourself and make your comment.
The Vice Chancellor, Senior Academic President, my name is Olayemi Baba, PhD student, Department of History and International Studies. My question is actually a bit straightforward, sir. Having understood that the role of Middle Niger in the history, that the trade and culture of the area, what is actually the significance of this trait on the people and societies of the Niger area vis-a-vis their current state of development? Does that mean that maybe the area I want the doctor to actually say a few words is that, does that mean that the place where there was this equal exchange between the societies of that area, the people that occupy that conferences, and their European counterpart, which actually leads to their current state of development? Thank you.
Let me just take a few minutes to respond. Thank you very much to each and everyone who has contributed. I'm really grateful. There's great thoughts, great ideas, great questions. I will not respond to everybody in length because everybody will go to be hungry and want us to have maybe a lunch. Maybe I start with Professor Dubi. Absolutely right. Of course, Lokoja is the modern town is a river Niger company foundation, but of course people always live in the area. And we don't know how far it was an urban center. If you go back to rock shelters, I think it was go back maybe hundreds or thousands of years. I don't know the dates, but this area has always been very, very central, very important for this region and for the whole country actually. So
As I'm interested in rock art, and I'm doing quite a number of rock art exhibitions, yes, we have they exhibit rock art copies, very, very large ones from the Sahara, showing giraffes, elephants, flocks of cattle. All these cultures, very high standing art, existed in the Sahara about 6,000 years ago. 6 to 4,000 years ago, we were crying, so all these people had to move. Their culture, their art moved. Some of them went to the Nile. We know what kind of civilization they developed there. Some of them came south, certainly, to run away from the disastrous climate, which had changed. We know the culture developed about 2000 before Christ, one of the very earliest cultures there. It is a big question whether we can have iconographies which are similar. We are talking about thousands of years. In between those arts, we don't really know much about the belief system of no culture, nor of the Sahara. Unfortunately, these are remnants which are like the hardware there, the software is not there. So the meanings, the stories which are behind that, the cultures behind that, they are for us to decipher, to look into it and to have hypotheses, but we don't know. We never exactly know what we can try to come closer to. But yes, why not? Why not look into the iconographic connection between Sahara rock art and whatever the early Nigerian art forms are. Another topic which was raised, which I think is very interesting, it touches many parts of interdisciplinarity. What my talk was not history, it was not archaeology, it was not anthropology, it was not linguistics. It was a little bit of all of that, and I think to get a picture of what has happened, don't stay in your disciplinary boundaries. Try to look over it. I mean, we don't have that many historical documents that you can say, okay, let's just look at the bigger world, or just look at the stuff dug out. We have to try to, I think, look at all of that. And when it comes to archaeology, and maybe then I want to have an answer to or a brilliant representative of the archaeology students. Today's European Western archaeology has become highly technologized. Archaeometry is making magic, and it is very complex technologies, it's very, very costly. But it sounds so nice, but does it make us in the end understand so much more of the past as the good old digging the ground with the shovel? Yes, it does, but let us not forget interpretation, because archaeologists, and that is, I'm very sorry, I'm now having a small critique here. Archaeologists try nowadays, in Europe, to become scientists, normal social scientists, but scientists, hiding behind complex machines, complex data sheets, and they're afraid to interpret. What does it mean? Because then they come up with a story, how was it? And whether it is now 1 year older, 1 year younger, who cares? We want to know what is it. So the good old thing in business, I think, is very, very important. And don't be afraid to do that. Archaeology is a tough job. You read the meeting song, you read the dirt. It is really, really tedious, but it's worth doing it. And you can do it even a long way without high-tech archaeology. That's what I mean. But doesn't mean that you shouldn't have the best apparatus, the best C14 and the best means, of course. But as long as you can do, it's much less than that. So, thank you very much. I think it's very, very honored to be in such a distinct lecture hall for so many fantastic topics. And thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Seyi. Vice Chancellor, we want to present the gifts to you. Do step forward and receive the Vice Chancellor's seminar. To commemorate this day. Thank you very much. Dr. Flores, Faculty of Education, come forward and join the registrar to allow the beautiful wife of the lecturer, one of Kogi's traditional attire.
representing the Nigerian Lokoja, it is my delight to present this link to you in appreciation of your contribution to the university, particularly this wonderful lecture that you have given. And I would like to use this opportunity to say thank you for the presentation. I was raising my hand to be called upon, but attention was given more to the academia. I want to particularly mention that your comment on Africa and the picture that you have given is the best that we've ever had. We pray that we'll have the opportunity to have those pieces to add to our archives. And we'll also plead with you that if you have any material on Jacob Mills, the first Nigerian of Lokoja, we'll be glad to have it. Thank you and God bless you.
appreciate our friends from the security for the civil defense of the CSS and the police. I want to appreciate. And next week, we also having another important distinguished lectures again. That is strengthening national development, team effective security in Nigeria. Yes, the lecturer is Permanent Director General, Institute for Police and Security Policy Research, Dr. Charles Omodi. That will be 14 on the 18th, so we are still expecting you as usual. Let me also, once again, please one out. Yeah, this public lecture is a real also establishing a lasting relationship with Providence Institute, Kote University, Germany, Frankfurt. I want Dr. Richard Kuba again to reactivate the invitation given to Father Chumi to come to Germany last year. So I want you to be reactivated for the rest of the year to come to Providence Institute. And I also want to say that to whom wants to be, but we expected you to assist us. I want the best students who are successful, who's coming out of the class, are ready to pursue masters or PhD on the Niger, Niger, where you are just, Kuba you are just presented that personally on your own, sponsor the person. These are areas that have been neglected. Unfortunately, I think I read some of the modern central, this Niger Building Conference area. I think there's still a need for more research on that place. And I remember my late professor guy who said that if there's any source as we claim to be that whether or whatever, if the source of Nigeria or source of Ghana, that actually the dispersal something should be around Niger Building Conference area. That is where we have more of the languages related. Look at what he said about gold the other time. In Yoruba, all other ethnic India is the same language. there's something linking all these things together, which we are going to examine. You understand? When we talk about, people don't know the importance of the Kakandas. People don't know the importance of the Kakandas. What they play in the history of this. Niger business confluence in our population. And come to the Yoruba aspect of it, come to the aspect of it. You know that today when we talk about Ebra, it's not sophisticated. We have them in national state, we have them in scientific and things like that. It is personal nature of this place. When we even talk about the Yoruba, we look at the linguistic connection. And if there's likely going to be a going from Yoruba, we are not the area that we are talking about. So we have not done anything. I think there's a need for us to go back and do much more. Do our research and bring out things that we should all be proud of. I still looking forward to someone who take the challenge of Kakandas. Fantastic people in this studio. I want to thank you. One thing I didn't say about Bridget. Bridget did by special use of work. I would say she is the most successful Nigerian lady in Frankfurt in particular. She has a fantastic restaurant and hotel in Frankfurt. We call it Adastra. So please, anytime you find yourself in, just go and just get a letter from me. Everything is taken charge, free of charge. Not for you. So that's what I enjoy every time I do. Yeah, I never thought look good who has any opportunity to go to Ghana. This medicine, seriously welcome. That is if you are a Frankfurt. But their place is part of Frankfurt. Like it for us. Thank you, the years that are this level of the gratitude. We are looking forward to see. It's not like we are initially planned for community, but thank you, sir.
We can give questions now. The registrar, Dr. Rebecca Lokoja, step forward with one of thanks. Please clap for the registrar.
Thank you so much. The Vice Chancellor, Principal Officers, I table our distinguished and almost revered guest, Dr. Richard Kuba. I have the microphone, and I'm going to use the privilege of this to say one or two things before I take note of that. One is that I was really wondering aloud in my head how the Sahara Desert became what it is. Is there a possibility that where we are now can become Sahara Desert any time at all? So I started wondering, I thought I could just mention that. And I want to say that I would ask that you give him another round of applause. And for no other reason, he's a German. Germans don't speak English. And we were able to hear him deliver his lecture. So please give him another round of applause. So as always, it's a delight to give vote of thanks, something that is, because I'm thanking all of you on behalf of management, but it's me talking. So the person you remember telling me is the registrar. So I thank you on behalf of management. I'd like to start by thanking God for making this day a reality. Clement weather, everything went well, we're grateful to God. Next, I'd like to thank the Vice Chancellor for his relentless, you can say relentless. Here that we're going to have another lecture before the month runs out. So for his relentless efforts in raising academic value of this culture of this institution, and he has done well. Please give him a round of applause. I'd like to thank deep gratitude again to Dr. Kuba, and of course for my lovely sister Shannon Thomas. Of course, millennia into history of what Africa was and lectures and have. I'd like to thank this Royal Highness, every represented here. Thank you for having royalty to our lectures. Thank you so much. I'd like to next thank the faculty, beginning with the provost, deans, directors, heads of department, professors, lecturers, senior lecturers, and staff of our university for the support you give management always in having these lectures. Thank you so much. And there is a friend of the VC and Dr. Kuba, Dr. Hamburg and his dear wife. We are grateful. Thank you for supporting them. I'd like to thank our students, now especially students of archaeology and museum. I saw something outside. It says that it's the only department of archaeology and museum in West Africa. Give yourself a round of applause. Our friends from the security agencies were ever so indebted. You always here supporting us. Thank you most kindly. And well, music department, as always, you did your best today. We're very grateful. And technical staff, protocol, amazing. Thank you so much. Thank you everyone. We expect to see you again next week. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Distinguished guests, I'd like to respectfully invite the Vice Chancellor to please come forward. To please come forward with our guest lecturer for the group photographer and he will be joined immediately after by the principal officers and then our guest in the front. And while the Vice Chancellor comes forward, I'd like to remind our guests, professors, deans, and directors that there will be refreshments put together by the Vice Chancellor in the conference room of the home and informal. This is that. Can we invite one of our lecturers to please come forward and join the group? Principal officers. Principal officers, please join them. Please can you join the Vice Chancellor for the photograph?